Welcome, welcome, welcome. What you're going to learn today is the difference between a success zombie and an implementor. So, what's going to happen is maybe you are a success zombie and you're someone who I definitely am a recovering success zombie. So, I used to invest in tons and tons of courses and never implement or apply anything that I put into play or practice. I would jump to the next thing, thinking and believing that, you know what, they gave me great information, but I'm still looking for that golden nugget. And what happens, I got coached around this from a coach that I met in Arizona. Shout out to Jason Goldberg. And he coached me over at dinner around, maybe, and I remember him saying, maybe you're doing too much. Maybe you're because I like to push the envelope. I like to be like, I like when my watch is crushed, like, and I have to jump from thing to thing to thing because I like to be busy. But then I realized is that I was investing time, energy, and attention in all these things and never applying them or putting them into practice or into play. But then I recognize that pattern, that there's a cue trigger behavior and there's a dopamine hit, kind of like when people are looking at their smartphones, right? They're constantly on their smartphones. And most people nowadays, when you look around, they're tech addicted. They're technology addicted. They're addicted to technology. They're addicted to their social media. They're addicted to not just like I'm professing good news, I'm evangelizing what I'm doing, right? By recognizing a pattern that I believe a lot of people are stuck in. And they form this habit, and this habit has become and further become an addiction. And it's something that they have to do. When there's an ounce of boredom, people will look at their phone and they'll see it, and then they'll be like, oh, I feel better, right? And in doing that, you're not dealing with what boredom gives you. What boredom gives you is creativity. In the upcoming video, I'm going to do one, it's called the Bliss Station. And you'll hear about what that's about. But then, what we do is we wander through life never taking action, never taking the right action. And we're going from thing to thing to thing and never implementing the right action versus being an implementator, an implementor, right? When you're taking some knowledge that you learn from a course, when you're taking some skills that you learn from a course, when you're taking some skills and capabilities that someone where you want to be has given you that information, knowledge, and expertise because you want to cut through the noise so you can hear the signal, so you can go from A to B in a straight line, right? Because most people go from A to B and they're zigging and zagging instead of that straight line. But to be an implementor, an implementator, is taking that nugget of wisdom the day you hear it and putting that into play in your business, whether you run a business online, whether you run a business in person, whether you yourself are a business, whether you're an entrepreneur, maybe you're someone that runs a business and helps an organization grow a business because you're a vital asset, or you see yourself as a vital asset from whatever course you're learning from. You take that nugget of wisdom and you apply it and you say, how can I put this into play today, right? And a lot of times it's going to make you uncomfortable. A lot of times it is going to make you very uncomfortable. But if you think about it, it's going to be debilitating. But if you look at it as like, I must do this, and then just do it and put it into play, you build confidence through the actions of being, of doing, and having, excuse me, and whatever you identify yourself as, in that specific niche, right? If you're identifying yourself, I got to arrange my mic here, in that specific niche, then you take the actions that you must take in order to get the results that you're looking and searching to get, right? And most people don't do that. That's why the title of this is Success Zombies versus Implementators or Implementors, right? Implementors. And when you are your own implementor, you're mentoring yourself to implicate and put something in action, right? Look up that word. I actually don't even know the definition of that word, but there's implementing and applying, right? People use that in synergy with each other, where it's I'm implying and I'm applying, and you're implementing. You're taking something that someone gave you some knowledge, some expertise. Maybe they're an authority in their niche, and they gave you this specific knowledge, not to go down the rabbit hole of what their website is and what they do, but maybe they gave you something that day that you can learn and treasure and just take action into doing in your business life that will help you grow and will support you to the next level of your success or whatever it is for you. But if you don't do that, and then you say, you know what, I'll get to it. Oh, you know what, this is happening. Oh, you know what, my dad's sick. Oh, my dog is sick. I didn't take out the garbage, and the garbage is all over the driveway because some animal, I live in upstate, so animals go into garbages and rip them up everywhere. But if you use an excuse to keep you from getting to that next level, that's on you. And that's your responsibility to catch the cue, the trigger, and the behavior, cue, trigger, and behavior that helps you do that, because then you build a habit of not doing that. You know what? You're going to go to the next course. You're going to go to the next teaching. You're going to say, I need a degree in this. Oh, I need a degree in that. Oh, I need another certification in this. Oh, I need a certification in that. And the thing that it's going to actually keep you from not doing is growing. It's going to keep you from not growing. And you think you're growing, but you're actually not. You're debilitating yourself. Most people hide in school for way too long. Most people hide in college and university for way too long. Instead of just diving into the thing and then taking the action and then producing results, doesn't mean you're not going to course correct or tweak it, right? Or move away or move towards something else, because life is like that. But when you prevent yourself from implementing something, it's costly, right? There's a sunken, I forgot what it's called. I think it's a sunken cost fallacy, right? Like I'm definitely one. I was a success zombie for years, dude. I would fly out to so many events prior to COVID instead of the things. And eventually, after I had that amazing coaching session, which was literally, I think it was a 15-minute conversation with just a high-performing coach. And he helped me narrow my eyes on exactly what it is specifically that I needed to do to grow my life. Business just made a world of difference. You know, it took me from good to great to world class. It literally just filled up the stills, you know, between the stills. I use a comic book reference there, but it literally just, right? And currently I'm doing this live as I'm a part of James Mel's challenge, coaching challenge, because I love to be amongst a community of like-minded people that are looking for growth. And I show up consistently and constantly so I can get better and improve, because I believe you are always scaling to improve yourself. Just spit all over myself. You are always looking to improve yourself on this journey of growth. You know, most people stop reading a book after college, or most people don't read books. They say, oh, it's too difficult, it's too hard, right? But you know what, where life really lives, right? Where life really lives, it lives in the hard. It lives in the difficult. And then you know what happens? You know, here's an example of cold showers, right? I'm not sure if you hear cold shower and you shriek, but I was doing this challenge where one of the things was required was a cold shower. Dude, I hated it at first. And then eventually I grew to like it. I grew to say, you know what? I don't feel sore after my workouts. And then it was easy. And then I was looking for, like, how can I actually step up the game and get into some more difficult things, right? Because I enjoyed this challenge, right? At first it was terrorizing, but then eventually it got better. And it just, you know, I remember the first cold shower. I was dizzy afterwards. I was literally dizzy because water up here gets cold. But then eventually, you know, it led to other things. It led to greater challenges. It led to greater insights. It led to greater breakthroughs. And that's why I'm doing this for you, is because everything you learn on a day in and day out basis, if you could live your life like it was your last day, and that's a hard one to do. I'm still wrapping my head around it. But if you could live and just be that ultimate version of you each and every day, and when you learn something from a course or event or an online summit, and you just write that one takeaway down, and you become your own mentor, not someone outside of you, not these great people that are all around you, but you become your own mentor, and you guide yourself because you know that 1 to 3, maybe it's 3 pieces of information that are going to get you to the next level of where you're at is going to help you. But then you write it down and then you look for the next piece and then you look for the next piece and you look for the next piece. On that day, take those first 3 pieces of information, write them on a note card and implement them into your business that day or the next day that you could speak to your team around and surround yourself with people like, hey, guys, I learned this exceptional thing during what Jesse Eckert taught about the blueprint of your coaching business or your company or whatever it is. And he taught me this amazing thing. I'm actually going to go over it here on YouTube because I believe a lot of people need to see this, right? And I know he's a very high-end program that you can invest to learn all this stuff. But I was a part of this challenge that gave me this information for nothing. I mean, it wasn't nothing. Some people, it might be very expensive, but for me, it wasn't that expensive. And I knew I was going to get 50X out of it. And I take that, then I put it into action. I set up a meeting with my team on Wednesday so we could go over it, so I could put it on the board and everybody could see it. And I think it's exceptional. And we must be able to take action on everything, because most people will go through life, and I've been guilty for this for years. I can't even say, I'm going to say 2 years ago is when I was being, I think it was 3 years ago. Yeah, it was at a Sean Stevenson event. And prior to that, I was just flying from mastermind to event to online conference to going in debt to pay for these things to actually learning what I actually needed. And then saying, you know what, instead of trying to find the magic recipe, let me just try that one thing that really resonated with me, right? You're going to hear something when someone teaches you something that really resonates with you. I just had the opportunity to speak to James Mell, who is a partner with Eben Pagan, and Eben Pagan and James Mell are business partners. And Eben Pagan is an entrepreneur that's helped probably hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people. It's multiple businesses. Very successful entrepreneur. James Bell is a very successful entrepreneur. But the thing is I was able to ask him a few questions that really expanded their mind. And James Bell loved the questions that I asked. And it was, I'm going to see if I could post it here so we could all see it. But these things were success driven. And these things were always about raising the certainty and energy around what you're doing, around your being, around your having, and around just where you're going, right? Not where you are. And I believe you do have to be real and know your reality, but where are you going, right? When you drive in a car, you don't look backwards to drive. You don't go, oh, hey, what's up? No, you look forward. You look directly in front of you. You do have a little rear view mirror because some things do catch up to you, but you do have that big front windshield to know where you're going. And that's what we must do in life. Is to know where we're going exactly, specifically. There'll be a little course correct. Like if an airplane was flying and then it went 3 degrees this way, it might end up in New York instead of somewhere else. But you could course correct and tweak that. And sometimes you're meant to vie a different direction along your path. But keep that in mind. If you're going through life and you're just looking for the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, your life is going to eventually end. And then before you're able to implement it, you're not going to be able to because it's too late. You got yourself too far backed up into a wall or too forward front into a wall without seeing what's around you. You're not going to go anywhere. But when you take that implementor, call it the implementator, and I think that comes from, I don't know if it was Napoleon Bonaparte or Hannibal or someone. There was this guy, Conquinator or something like that, and he would procrastinate. Something, you guys know what I'm talking about. Look it up, Google it. But he would absolutely, I think maybe it was Napoleon. He would make Napoleon so angry because he would be late to combat. He would procrastinate. He would do all these things, but maybe it was his way of thinking he was getting ahead, but he wasn't. Instead of just facing the music, right? Most of us don't. And the sad thing is when you don't take an expert an authority that has learned this, has learned the grueling hard work, and they give you these 3, 4, 5 magic points that you can implement in your business right away, and you don't take it, just never going to get anywhere. But when you take the action on what they teach you and you put it into play, you get results quicker. I've been able to grow my coaching business because of this, because of all this virtual stuff, able to have coaches from all around the world, right? Connect and build a business together, right? As I'm slowly starting out, and it's a great, exceptional thing. And it frees up time, frees up energy, frees up attention. And instead of being the how, I'm looking for the who, because there's other people in my niche that are just as good or better, or that are in different niches that are just as good or better as I'm trying to culminate in what I am doing. But again, success zombie versus implementer. Be an implementer. Implement in your life. Take things and apply them. Don't take them, throw them to the side, take them, throw them to the side. I used to do that. I used to take notes upon copious notes and never do. I still have notebook. I have boxes of notebooks. I call them my insanity pleas, right? Because, I was like, I'll get to that. But now I'm very laser focused on what it is that I must get done and what I need to do and how much time it's going to take. And I don't let that trigger my dopamine. And I know that happens with a lot of people, because a lot of people are just really, truthfully looking for answers. A lot of people are really, solution oriented. I call them solutionaries, right? They're looking for the ultimate solution for what they need to do. And I get it. I 100% get it, because you feel like, and then it all comes down to, I'm not good enough, right? But the truth is you are. You just have to get confidence through being competent. And you can't go in 40 directions. You got to focus on one thing. And when you're growing a business in the beginning, sales is the lifeblood of your business. And sales will always be the lifeblood of your business, but it's the injection of what's going to grow your business. And then what comes after that is the marketing. But first, you must be sales oriented for a little while until you can bring in what it is you're looking for. And I'm going off a tangent here. But for you, what do you think it is for you, right? Instead of just being a wandering generality, what if you could be a generalized specific? I hope that's the saying, or I butchered it. But you need to be specifically intentional about what you are doing to grow a business. So important, because I see it. I see it with business owners. I see it with my clients, with my guests. I call them guests. I don't call them clients, but with my guests who have been with me for a long term. At first, when I work with them, they have shiny object syndrome. They're all over the place. They're looking for this, looking for that, looking for the next thing, looking for that thing, looking over there, over here. And maybe they make a tiny bit of money over there and over here, but you get good when you focus and you grow something, and you grow that one thing, and you get really good at it. Because if you keep doing that, if you keep looking around at shiny objects, you'll never get anywhere. You'll be literally paralyzed like a deer in the headlight, and you'll be in the same place you were 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Same place you will be now will be in 10 years. There will be no growth. There will be no incremental improvements until you get really good. Because, one thing, we're teleological beings, right? If you look back at, I don't know if it was Aristotle, or maybe he was modeled after the Greek god. I don't know what his name is. Maybe it is Aristotle. No. The guy with the bow and arrow, if anyone knows what I'm talking about. But, Apollo, I got it. Woo. But he was a everything he focused on, he hit, right? When the gods of wars were together and the gods went to war, every arrow he would shoot, he would hit his target. And even if he didn't hit his target, let's per se, he wouldn't focus on the loss of that target. He would focus on the next target, right? And maybe get better. He'd focus on the next target and get better. But he would make sure he did his damnedest, his darnest, or whatever, to hit that target as great as he can, right? and then course correct and get better and tweak. And that's what you're going to do when you're able to take these nuggets of wisdom that these great men, women, whoever you're learning from. I had the privilege to watch Yannick Silver speak today. And if anyone who know who Yannick Silver is, he's been a mentor to tons of people. And this other lady, I forgot her name, but she was phenomenal. And she was teaching the phases of business. But I took 4 things from that and I put them in an order already that I can already implement and put that into my life, right? And speak to the people that work with me on my team and put that into play and put that into practice and see how we can get better. And that's what we must do as humans, or we're going to stay the same. But are you a success on me, or are you an implementer? And my advice is to be an implementer. So if you didn't hear this, go back and listen to what I'm saying, because I know it's really helpful, man. So again, I'm Raymond J. Negron with Beyond Failure to Reach Success. Take care and have an amazing day. Be exceptional with everything you do. Bye.